3:15. It's Tuesday, March 25th. Just a little bit of housekeeping. This meeting is being recorded by our local cable access channel, WCAT. If anyone else is recording, just please let the committee know. First thing on our agenda is to look at minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review minutes?
Yes.
Wait a motion.
Make a motion to adopt the minutes as written on March 18th, 2025.
Second.
A second.
Okay. Motion's made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes are accepted. Okay, so we're back to the fiscal year 26 budgets, and I will turn it over to Madeline.
Okay, in your packet, I gave everybody the sewer. Did we go over the sewer yet? I don't remember. I don't think so, right?
Correct, we had it last week for review.
So we
To
did,
review.
budget went down 314, new employee has until July to obtain
Yeah.
grade cooperation.
Okay, yep. So I gave you the copies. I had them over there. I don't know if I made double.
That's right.
Yep. And then the other one is the Board of Health budget that we had talked to him about, and he had changed the Board of Health salaries as we requested, so that's the newest.
Okay,
So I just printed it, that we received it. And then also, I know you already have it, Ray, I gave everybody Pathfinder's,
Oh.
if you wanna take it home and look at it.
Mhm.
yeah, I've seen this already, just, I think
The last
is it the
page.
last page or the
Yes.
next to last? Yeah, so you can, Warren's assessment went from this to this is the proposal for this year. Okay, so just so you know. Okay.
So, that was on.
This was us?
Mhm. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So, just in case you
Mhm.
wanted to look at the backup, so. On that basically is it. We still don't have, the police department yet.
Animal control?
I
I
did,
got an email from her.
okay,
I just got it, I gotta print it.
Okay.
So I'll give it to you next week.
Okay.
It's the
Okay.
same as last year. She
Okay.
said she couldn't get the Excel form to print.
Update or something? Okay.
Yeah, so anyways,
all
I
right.
just
I
got
had
it.
reached out to her and asked her to either
Yeah.
recontact me or you, and
Yeah,
so,
so I got it today, but
Very good.
I didn't get it printed
Okay.
yet. And then, of course, I hear the school's going to the selectmen's meeting Thursday.
Yeah.
So we should have their numbers for next week.
Okay.
and, excuse me one second, I made a list, and I think that covers everything, but let me just double check my spreadsheet that. The budget requests. Okay, there's a vocational ed, not Pathfinder.
There shouldn't be anything, she should be done. This was her 4th year unless you have something.
I have reached out to Steve, I believe it is her last year.
Okay.
This person's last year, however, I have not received confirmation from Steve yet.
Okay, I
Who's
just
last
wanted,
year?
what's that?
Who's last year?
That Voc one that 4 years we were paying for her to go to
Oh, got it.
Smith.
Yeah,
Smith.
Got it.
I
Okay.
didn't think there was anything this year that we needed to address
That's
with that, but
why-
I just needed to confirm it.
Yeah, that's why I put 0, I just put.
Okay.
And did we get any, we must have got something from cemetery, and maybe I misplaced my paper, but we did do cemetery, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a number for it, but I
I
just
think
didn't,
they increased the
it went from
clerk's salary,
66.95 up to 7,200.
right.
I, for some reason, I misplaced my paper, that's all. I thought, I had a number, so I knew we
Okay.
had looked at it, but, yeah, so I think that kind of covers it.
Yeah, so those that we're still waiting on. So the next thing Jim gave us updated on the articles for the special and annual.
I do wanna make a disclaimer here. these are drafts. And so drafts can change from first to second to third. So the article numbers that you see right now may not be the article numbers in the future.
What I've been
But
doing,
the articles, the body of the articles will remain the
Right.
same.
I remember from the meeting last year, someone had talked about the fact that it didn't match the
Right.
minutes kind of thing.
Correct.
So what I've done now, when I do the minutes, I say the article, but I explain what the article, that number was at the
Okay.
time we had the meeting.
Yes, yes,
So that, so you could input
right.
other I get you want the,
And
all
it-
departments to be together.
Right, and that's the
That's-
main
Yes,
part of this. We
Mhm.
don't want a town meeting lasting 5 hours
Right.
because 10 different
All over the
departments are
place.
all over the place. The idea here is to group departments together so the articles will
makes
flow.
perfect sense, and that's why I amended the way I do minutes.
Okay, thank you.
I think we already went over some of these. But we didn't vote, is that what you're saying? I mean, this
None of
is-
them, none of them have recommendations.
But, I mean.
My recollection is we had reviewed
Right, we
many of
reviewed
them, but we
Right.
never formally acted
Right.
for a recommendation on them.
Correct.
So
So-
while we've got some time today, I guess we can go through these.
So for the special,
Yeah, for the special.
do we'll take a vote for each article.
Right,
So we're not,
well, the ones, number 3 for the snow and ice, I know we're gonna eventually vote that, but I think we should wait till we have the number,
Okay.
which should be shortly. So, the first one is to vote to transfer from free cash 9,271.14 to fund fireworks organized by Park and Rec Department for fiscal year 25. So, that's the first one.
And a lot of their money last year was given back.
Correct.
But it's not a 9/10 vote.
No,
because
no,
it's-
no.
It's in the same year.
I get it. Mhm.
So we'll make a motion
I
to
would recommend.
accept that article as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So 4-0 in favor of recommending.
And the next one is to see if the vote will transfer from free cash the sum of $5,336.10 to pay for a prior fiscal year bill from Van Pool for transportation costs associated with an out-of-district student. And that's a 9/10 vote, it's a prior year bill.
Right.
I'll make a motion to approve article number 2.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So 4-0 on Article 2.
Yeah, snow and ice, I think we should
Three, I think, right?
We'll, yep, we'll,
wait till we get the number.
okay.
To see if the town will vote to transfer from free cash the sum of $5,000 to assist in the funding of the advanced life support line within the fiscal year 2025 budget item.
So just a quick question on that. Is that,
That's when we ended up increasing for next year.
so we did include it in the budget for this fiscal year 26's budget, correct?
We increased it by 10, I think. We went from 50 to 60, remember?
Yes,
And I think I gave you the new copies of the
And-
budget.
yep,
This is for 25, that's 26.
okay, so he needs, so that's to
Yeah.
kind of make up for it.
When he
Okay.
was here, I think he was,
Yep,
he talked about it, right? Am I right or
Mhm.
wrong? Yeah.
I think so, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'll make a motion to accept Article 4 as written and read.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 See if the town will vote to transfer the sum of free cash, the sum of $8,000 to purchase 2 sets of turnout gear, helmet and boots for 2 new members of the fire department. All right, Priya, you're down there, you got a voice.
$8,000
Mhm.
to purchase 2 sets of turnout gear.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So if you're in favor of this and you'd like to make a motion to accept
Or
it.
she can ask a question if she's got a
Yeah.
question.
you can make a motion to adopt it. And what I should be doing is, once the motion is made and accepted, I should be asking if there's any further discussion about it.
Right.
But you wanna go ahead and be that motion maker?
All right, I make a motion to accept
Article 5.
Or
Article 5.
as written in
As
the warrant,
written.
or something like that, yeah.
Yes.
We're taking you through it so you can be an active participant here, that's not a problem.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, any discussion on this?
She.
Go ahead.
I just had a question, I have
Yep.
a question. The sum of $8,000 to purchase 2 sets of turnout gear, helmets and boots, is that reasonable?
Unfortunately, it is.
Unfortunately, that's the
It's
sad
very
part.
expensive, yeah.
Extremely expensive.
Well,
It's all specialized gear.
Yeah, well,
It's all life protected.
well, so it doesn't catch on fire, it's probably got that
Yeah,
It-
of course.
chemical stuff in it.
Yeah.
It- Unfortunately, it is reasonable, yes. Yeah. Any other discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so 4-0.
Okay. To see if the town will vote to transfer from sewer retained earnings a sum of $44,500 to pay for a copper compliance reduction study from Ty and Bond. Now, is this DEP approved, DOP recommends this?
Yes, so what was suggested by the accountant to Ralph was the $7,000 that's out there already in an article, to turn that money back and to start fresh with this study that needs to be done for $44,500. That will fund the entire study.
Okay.
So that article that was mentioned before, that's out there, that has a balance of about $7,000, that will be turned back.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Article 6.
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion about this? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4-0 on that, okay. So just so you know, so that they're transferring out of their retained earnings. It's not coming from the town's free cash, it's not going on, it's not coming out of raise and appropriate. It's out of, but we have to formally do it this way.
Yeah.
And I will have, council has not reviewed these yet, so I know that there was a question as to whether or not it would be transfer or appropriate. We'll, once we have that gone through by town council, that will be
I'm
corrected.
the one that raised the question, because I remember a few years ago, I don't remember how many years ago, at town meeting, it was brought up. Is it raise, appropriate, or is it transfer? Because it was enterprise fund, so I think at that time, it was appropriate, but then we've done transfers, so I just wanted clarification to make sure it's the correct.
Okay. Okay.
Which, so I just wanna tell Priya, so it's an enterprise fund account, and I know in the budget, you'll see, on the sheet, indirect costs. They have to pay for everything themselves.
Right.
So they're an enterprise fund, but we have to keep it as a separate accounting section, I guess, if you wanna say it. So on our reports and stuff, everything's general fund. They have their separate own
Right.
fund. And that's why they were enterprise funds, so the indirect costs that they pay to the general fund is for their medical insurance, their dental insurance, their retirement. The debt we have separate, but the debt would be included for the South Street sewer line. And then they pay, and I don't know what the percentage is, so much for the accounting service that, she does, and also for the treasurer. So it's sewer indirect cost, so that gets added into, it's an expense to them.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Well, it looks like this one got a little bigger. I don't know what, I'll just read them quick, or just, number one is standard to
Yep.
hear the reports of town officers and all standing and special committees. Number two, to see if the town will vote to authorize a selectman to appoint all necessary town officers not chosen by ballot. Number three is going to be to approve the new wage classification.
Should we act
Yeah.
on that?
I don't know. Why don't we skip it for now?
Okay.
I would like to see the FinCom have a position on
Yeah,
it.
I think we should too. But we can hold for now, or do you wanna?
You wanna vote on it, the new wage classification, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, I'll make a motion that Article 3 as written be adopted or recommended by the Finance Committee.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion about it? It's kind of all but implemented at this point, and it's just the reality. I didn't see anything in it that was ridiculous or egregious, and so I'm okay with it, the way it got proposed to us by the Collins Center.
Yeah, so the hourly wages are already into the fiscal year 26 budget.
Yep.
Salaries are
Yep.
from that.
Any other discussion about Article 3? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so 4
Number 4 is it's to see if the town will raise and
Excuse me.
appropriate to fix the salary and compensation of all elective officers. That's just general verbiage again. Okay, so I just wanna make sure the number's right.
No, that number's gonna change.
See?
This is a new budget.
See? That's why I was pulling my budget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we'll write the new amount in, but this one I'm gonna hold off until he gets. This one's gonna be fine, it's the other one. So the new total that I have, as long as Jim says it's right, is 877,903.35.
Yep, that's the latest one I got.
So why don't we hold off just in case there's a change, but that's what is there so far.
Okay,
Okay, to see if the town will vote to transfer from sewer retained earnings 17,800 to refurbish RBC to operational status as mandated by the Department of Environmental Protection. So since it's mandated, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No, no, second.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay.
To see if the town will transfer from sewer retained earnings the sum of 47,000 to purchase and install 2 wet end pump impellers and bearing assemblies for the primary pumps. The verbiage is this
Make a
one
motion
here.
to accept that?
Okay, I make a motion to accept Article 7 as is written.
I'll second.
Okay,
All in
all,
favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay. To see if the town will vote to transfer from free cash the sum of 25,000 into the OPEB trust fund.
So I'll make a motion to accept Article 8 to transfer 25,000 from free cash, to transfer from free cash 25,000 into the OPEB trust fund.
I'll second.
So any discussion about that? This is just a, Jim, can you speak to that, just so Priya understands what that is, or do you already know what that is?
I somewhat have an idea.
So, This is to pay for post-employment benefits, so insurances, you know, that the
Okay.
town for retirees, unfunded liability for pensions. You know, this will start to address some of the unfunded liability that exists with the town.
Okay.
So it's actually very underfunded, but it's at least that we're doing something towards it, so it's, I'm certainly supportive of it. And, so any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
I didn't
That
have
get
a
moved and
first.
I'm sorry.
seconded.
Yeah, you
I
moved
Yeah,
it.
didn't
yes,
move
yeah,
it?
I seconded.
You seconded it,
You motioned and I seconded.
okay. So all in favor of Article 8 is written?
Aye.
Aye.
To see if the town will transfer from free cash the sum of 25,000 to continue fund maintenance on the town levy system for the purpose of keeping the town in compliance with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. I'll make a motion to approve it, but I wanna speak to it.
Okay, I'll second it, and discussion.
Yeah, I just want, for you to know, you know, where the river is in Wrights and stuff?
Yeah.
That's where the levy system in, this is what this
Okay.
is dealing with, is with that levy system there.
Yeah. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
See if the town will transfer the sum of 25,000 to fund ongoing maintenance and repairs to town buildings.
I'll make a motion to accept Article 10 as written.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
No, don't move on yet.
Sorry.
That's all right. You seconded?
Just put an M for Madeline. Easier.
Man, I'm just doing bad.
Okay, I'm mad.
There you go, okay.
Don't call her Marilyn.
I won't.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we talked about this with Jim last week, to see if the town will raise and appropriate the sum of 1,000 to fund an annual stipend for the facilities custodian. $300 for our uniform allowance and $700 for their personal vehicle, for use of the personal vehicle to and from our 5 municipal buildings.
I make a motion to approve or recommend.
I'll second. Any other discussion about this? And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay, this is something to do with the Board of Assessors, HERO Act.
So, the HEROES Act is for abatements that can be applied for by our veterans for property tax. And the assessor is going to be learning a little bit more about this relatively new program that just came out last year tomorrow at a training. And so I would ask that the board pause on this one because of the fact that there's going to be, you know, an opportunity for the town to decide, well, you know, right now, the state will reimburse us, I think it's $800 or $825 for the first 1,000. You know, however, you know, this doubles that, and there needs to be a discussion as to how much is going to potentially need to be funded in the overlay account to cover these additional costs that will not be reimbursed by the state.
Oh, they will not be.
Right. So, you know, by approving this, it is good legislation for our veterans, and I'm not saying our veterans don't deserve it, because they do. But we also have to look at the implementation, you know, the implementation of this and what the potential costs would be.
Right.
You know, because we rely heavily on property tax revenue.
What we don't get from reimbursed, we have to get from somewhere else,
Right,
so.
so or it'll be just a loss.
Yeah, yeah. which we
So-
can't afford.
Deb is going to be going to a training tomorrow on this. I don't know if the board is gonna be having her in for further discussions on possibly Article 13 or their budget again. But, you know, that certainly could, you know, potentially, you know, be talked about, you know, in the future.
So say that about Deb, what, oh, they're gonna have a meeting, they're gonna let us know on this?
On 13?
No,
No,
on
on
12,
Okay.
she's going to a training tomorrow.
Yep.
And she will she'll have a better understanding of if the state is gonna pick up anything. It sounds like now that they will not. And then the implementation of this, she'll have a better understanding of that. And then there will be some discussion as to, you know, on the overlay account, you know, what type of impact this could potentially have on the overlay.
Do you have the wage classification?
The new one?
Yep. I see it. Keep going.
You got it?
I saw the bottom. I'm just gonna make note of this, whether,
On 13?
yeah, number 13, because I'm not sure exactly what she means, but anyways, if she's wants to appoint a principal assessor, I think she wants that to be a labor grade B and not a D.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
No, I know, we're gonna take care of the article anyways, I'm just
Yeah.
saying. And then she wants to move the assistant assessor to a C, and the assistant assessor trainee would be a labor grade D.
I mean, we don't even have an assistant
Of
assessor
anything.
trainee.
So anyways,
What would be, the principal assessor would be which code?
I think it would be the B, she would
Okay.
replace the assistant and then drop her down and then put the
Okay,
trainee
and then
in.
the assistant would be
A
C?
C, yeah,
instead of C.
and then that would be B. That's my opinion, but
Mhm.
I just want to say that I am not in favor of this article at all.
My only problem with not doing this is we have nobody there.
But the thing is, we don't have a job classification for a principal assessor. So this article entails a couple things.
Okay.
So this job classification does not exist today. Number two, which I know they wouldn't be too happy, there is no MGL, no Massachusetts general law giving the assessors the authority to appoint a principal assessor. They have authority to appoint a assistant assessor. If this is what they're thinking to do, they want to put this on, this article doesn't cover that, because then if they want to be the one to print it, then that's got to be specified too. So as of right now, I will make a motion not to approve this article.
I'll second that.
Okay, I definitely get the reason for this article,
Mm-hmm.
because right now, Deborah's the only one down there.
Right, but the board can hire an assistant assessor.
Yes, but you only have one person on the board.
No, there's two.
There's two,
Oh, two, but he's not around much, if that.
right, he's not running next year, but
Oh,
somebody
he's
else
not.
is, so
Okay,
they
good,
will have two.
oh, okay, that's good,
They do
okay,
have a
all
new
right.
member
Oh, that's
coming.
good, okay. I just know you wanna get somebody in there.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it,
we asked her, when she was here, I
Yeah.
said to her, it's been a year. Are you gonna be looking to hire somebody, and she said yes.
I can't hire that person.
Right.
The board has to hire that person.
I know, and that's why I'm thinking that this, because the current situation is why I see the reason for this, which I totally get what you're saying.
The article wouldn't pass legal muster on the face of it, and so there's no sense in recommending it.
I
Oh.
didn't recommend it.
No, I know,
No, that's a
that's
very
what
good point.
I'm
You
supporting.
seconded your-
I just came
Yeah.
from the opposite
That's a
side,
very-
you
no,
didn't
that's a very
recommend.
good point.
And so I'm concurring that there's no sense in, I agree and
I
I'm
mean, we
supportive.
can just hold off until he talks with Deb again and put it to him next week, you know, but as
Yeah.
it's here,
Yeah, so we will not act on this particular article, and Jim, either get the message, if you're willing, I'd be happy to talk to Deb myself, but
Sure.
if you're, either I can follow up with her, or if you're gonna talk to her about this Article 12 stuff,
Yep,
let her know the finance committee just can't,
okay,
the way Article 13 is written, it's just, on the face of it, it's not supportable.
okay. So 12 and 13 will just pass for right now, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, and
Okay.
I'll have a conversation with him
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And number 14 is one of our standard ones, to see if the town will vote any excess portion of any state aid for regional school transportation be reduced by Warren's pro rata share of school transportation allocated to the district in the excess of,
I gotta get that amount.
so we have to wait on
We'll-
that.
we'll-
What that
we'll-
is if the state says we have to give the regional school X amount, we'll say it's 500,000 for transportation. Because the state budget, well, last year they did pretty good, but it's usually after the budget is done. So they can only go by what they're told. So if they get 575,000, so they got 75 over. So the pro rata share basically is pretty close. Warren has 67% of the students, and West Brookfield has 33. So you would take the 75,000, and Warren would get 50, and West Brookfield would get 25. Okay. So, to vote to see, town to vote to authorize the spending limits in the following funds or take any action. And it's the revolving funds and building, town clerk, board of health, and for plumbing and gas. What's the other board of health one? Plumbing and gas. Oh, this is perk tests. You gotta write that in, Jim.
We didn't have it on before.
Well, I'm just telling you.
What is it?
Test?
Perk tests,
PERK test?
PERC.
C.
Oh.
It's percolation tests, right?
Right, right.
Well, like I said, I'm not here anymore, so,
Mhm.
so when they go out and do a perk test, they get so much in the town.
Is that for Title V inspections too?
I think so, yeah, I'm not sure, like I said, I think in the budget, it says,
I thought it would be just for Title V, no?
well, Title V is a perk test, it has to do with.
Perk tests and Title V go
They
together.
go together?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know the detail,
Right.
but
You can
They're-
check with council and ask him.
Okay, Title V.
And also ask him, because I thought we didn't have to vote for these anymore. And
Oh,
then
I had mentioned that at the last meeting, and so, you know, the
And then-
revolvings may not have to be reauthorized every year.
Unless the amount changes.
Right.
I think that was it, but,
Right.
But since it's before us, I'll make a motion that we accept the article as written. Whether we need it or not, it might drop
Yeah.
off, but let's just approve it right now.
Okay,
I'm
I'll-
gonna assume there's no objection.
I will second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So it's there if we need it, so.
And, oh, how about 14? What do we do on 14?
Oh.
14, we need the number, I thought you said.
Yeah, that's right, we're gonna wait.
We'll wait for the number, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, number 16, to see if the town will accept and trust the income of which is to be expended for perpetual care maintenance of burial lots at Pine Grove. We don't have to do anything with that. To allow the vote to authorize the treasurer to enter in compensating balance agreements, we don't have to do anything with that. Number 18, to see if the town will vote to transfer from free cash $30,000 to cover the cost for the installation of 6 new gas monitoring ports at the transfer station in accordance with the DOE, DEP,
DEP, yeah.
Department of Environmental Protection required.
Yeah, this is kind of a requirement, so I'll make a motion to accept Article 18 as written.
I second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $20,000 to create a new highway payroll line within the highway department budget to allow part-time on-call employees to help with construction projects.
I'll make a motion to accept it,
I'll second.
and any discussion?
He was here and said why he needed it for
Yeah.
doing his constructions.
um,
But, can we hold off on that, because I did ask him for a number.
Well, I don't know how many employees would he be looking to hire, I don't know. Would this be just for current employees, or? I mean, if it's a part-time employee, or any employee of new hire, wouldn't that have to be part of a article?
To allow part-time on-call. This is
So-
this is the article he gave you?
Yes.
So
Do
what he's saying is it has to get set up and it has to be in the wage classification, so it has to be set up as to make the positions. And then the funding part would be separate.
That's what I was gonna ask, was,
So logistically, there's a discussion that needs to be made. I think, he definitely needs it and could use it with some of the projects that he's got going on, but logistically, and I'm dealing with another issue on this for this fiscal year to try to help Highway out to do this, but, I'm under the impression that, that whether you hire a part-time or a full-time, there's an article that needs to be done at town meeting. Now, if that is the case, then I think there needs to logistically need to be a discussion as to how we can achieve this by also approving this article.
It's gotta be two separate.
yeah.
And Article 19 would have to,
So you break it out, one would be adding the positions, and two would be the salaries?
Well, no, I mean, so, you would have to find out, well, how many people is he looking to pull from this pot of money? And I don't know, maybe he's looking just to, give it to people that are already
Overtime.
there. It doesn't sound like it, but because it says part-time people, so I don't know if he's looking to get more hours for part-time people, but then again, part-time people can only work 19 hours.
but that's what I'm saying, because it's 20,000, how many people, how many hours a week? So, I mean, I guess, Jim, you could call him in, because I think when he was here, I had said to him, well, what is the total, so,
We basically need a bit more detailed.
correct. Well, it's gotta be split in two articles.
Two articles. The first
So
one is
So
adding,
an article to establish the line item.
Right, and what the pay is gonna be, it's gotta be, because they gotta say this person's gonna get paid
It's gotta come off of somewhat then on the wage scale, yeah.
on the wage classification, so that's what I was saying, because of the 20,000, I mean, that's not 19 hours a week for so many weeks or whatever, 20,000 isn't gonna equal
yeah,
anything. And I think, I'm trying to remember, Jim, but I think we do it before,
It would have to be done before the
wage classification.
classification.
All right, so we're breaking it out into two, and one is adding the line item,
no, one would be adding the job description.
right, okay, that's one, and then what's the second one?
The second one is the
one.
total, right,
Okay,
so
okay,
you need to know what grade what step he's gonna be paid and how many hours is he anticipating. Cause I know he's got other part-time people he can use, so already,
okay.
but,
Yep.
you should have a certain amount of hours and they can't be over 19. Okay.
So we'll pass that for now.
To see if the town will vote to transfer from the receipts reserve for appropriation highway equipment account, the sum of 15,000 to the highway surplus and auction line item account. do you know, did Jackie get this money yet? It's still kind of early.
I don't know.
All right, so can you just ask Jeremy if that's a good number?
Okay, that's the number he gave me, so.
Okay, so then, okay, if he gave it to you, that's fine. So when he plows for Quabog and the elementary school, they get paid from Quabog, and that goes into a receipts reserve for appropriation, so that's what this is about. And he does it usually every year.
Okay.
So I make a motion to approve
I second that.
Article 20.
Okay. If there's no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
See if that town will vote to transfer from free cash the sum of $12,000 to pay for hosting fiscal year 2026 fireworks organized by the Parks and Recreation Department.
And I'll make a motion to accept Article 21.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
That takes care of that.
All right, so moving along, the next thing is to look at revenue projections. And Jim, do you have something for us?
Yep.
You-
Is this for me?
So,
Huh? Oh,
I got some
I think
reports
it's
here
right.
that I wanted to
Okay, I'll
share.
double check it.
I
No,
wanted
I'll
to
ask
share
them.
with the committee from the town accountant. The accountant was out last week, she was in a training, so I just got these today. And I just wanted to share with the board kind of a picture of revenue from last year to this year, as well as next week when we meet, I will have a better estimate on revenue projections for fiscal year '26. But this will give you an idea, as to date, where we are with revenue, and then we'll also let you know where we were the same date last year at this time with revenue. So on your revenue summary ledger, if it says February 28th, 2024, so with real estate, we were at approximately 5.6 million. And for currently, in the same time period, we're at 5.7 million. So there's a little bit of an uptick there in receipts, revenue.
Got it.
And also for motor vehicle, we're trending a little bit behind as compared to last year at this time. Motor vehicle, we were at 194,000 and change. Right now, we're at 171,000 and change, almost 172,000. So there's quite a bit of also other small revenue, other local receipts revenue that the town relies on to operate the general fund. You know, there is a whole host of them that are broken out, but this will give you a comparative analysis of where we were last year at this time and where we currently are. I don't see anything concerning or alarming at this point. However, it is a good comparison for you to take a look at. Next week, as I said, I would like to have a revenue projections for fiscal year '26, estimated revenue projections for fiscal year '26 for you.
I see a big difference in liquor licenses, because I know those are already done, so.
There was one that wasn't applied for, I know that, Countryside, I think turned theirs in. Well, we collected obviously quite a bit more, this year than we did last year.
On what?
common vic, is that what you're looking for?
No, liquor license.
Liquor
Oh,
license.
liquor licenses. Liquor licenses. I'm not sure if they're all in yet. It would appear that, there's about $1,700 difference. I know that there was one that didn't renew.
And then we have a new one that just applied, the new one in West Warren, it just applied.
Yeah, I don't know if that's reflected in this ever yet.
Yeah, but that would just be a transfer, so if they already paid, wouldn't that, if you just transfer over?
No, that would be a new license.
One just
There was
happened.
nothing there before.
Yeah.
No, it was there, but the other people would have paid it, because it's, what, December?
No, there was no liquor license there.
In West Warren?
No, no, no.
Tropical Vibes?
No, I'm not talking about
That's what
them.
I'm talking about.
That's what she's
They
talking
just got
about.
their new, they just
No, I'm not
applied their
talking
new liquor
about them.
license.
I was
That's,
talking-
okay,
I was talking about the transfer
Whiskey
of
Hill?
whiskey.
okay,
Whiskey
I
Hill's
was talking about the new
Yeah,
restaurant.
that's what,
And
I
they would,
forgot about
they
Tropical
would have
Vibe.
to, they would have to apply for a new
Okay,
license,
that's what
which
I'm
I
saying.
believe they did.
'Cause
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't,
I gotcha.
I know it's on the corner of my street, but it doesn't, so more perk tests this year, so. See, that's how we have it. See, the perk test number
Mhm, mhm.
4431, that's what, that would be,
Mhm.
that question that I was talking to you about.
But there's a septic installer permit,
Yeah,
it's quite a bit more.
correct, I understand. But I think the two are to get.
Okay.
I don't know.
And the building permit?
That would be separate, yeah. So that's another good thing, Mayor. I'm glad you brought that up. Building permits are up over last year to this year, which is nice.
This one doesn't. Go back to where I was. Plumbing, perk is up. That's, I think every other year must be the petroleum storage, because it wasn't anything last year. Septic is up. Facility permits, wiring permit. Building permit.
This goes up.
Yeah, because those are good for 5 years, so,
Oh,
you know, so
Got it.
when the next
don't roll
person
renew.
needs, they don't renew at the same
okay.
time. Where am I? Here we are.
Veteran benefits went up quite a bit too.
Well, it's, I think that's from last year, that, right? Am I right on the abatement to the elderly, that's the money?
No, not the
Check.
elderly, the veterans.
The veterans would be the same too.
Chapter 115 money, yeah.
It would be based on last year. So there may be, I don't know, maybe some veterans got
Yeah,
added.
yeah.
Okay. So, the lottery,
Yeah, that's the
that's a
other
big
thing.
difference. How much more did we get? So maybe this has got something else posted in there where this doesn't. Court fines are up, earnings is up. And miscellaneous income. Transfer shouldn't have been there, but that's neither here nor there.
Earnings on investments is up, which is good.
Yep, that's what I said. And miscellaneous income.
So, I mean, there's a few things that we can look at, but for the most part, I think we're trending in the right direction. And then there's one for sewer revenue. So sewer revenue, as opposed to this time last year, we were at 423,000. This time this year, we're approximately 449,000. Again, the fee also went up a little bit, as opposed from last year to this year. It's not all based on collections, but it seems to be trending in the right direction.
And none of these, are you gonna have different numbers next week for this?
So next week, what I would like to put together is an estimated, what we're projecting to have
Oh,
for
the estimate,
revenue
okay.
for fiscal year '26. And then what you can, with these revenue projections, these are just simply projections and estimates. We can use that to look at where we are budget-wise.
Yeah, I was just about to make a comment for, last year. This year, Department of Revenue was around 4,635, and this year is around like, what, $525?
Drop it.
Yeah.
Those are, I'm not sure what they classify as departmental
Well,
revenue.
some of it, I'm not sure,
Maybe
It
it's
has to
connection
do-
fees.
yes, if they have any connection fees would be in there, and then also for leachate, if any of the people that do the pumping of the septic system take it there, they pay so much. And I don't know what it is, cause I've been gone a long time, but Department of Revenue, I'm just gonna correct myself. If there is a hookup, I don't think that it is there, I think that is an agency fund, I'm not
Oh,
sure
okay.
how that's broken.
Connection fees are not part of that? No?
Well, like I said, I just want to refresh my memory that part of it probably is, but when there's a fee that they have to collect from the person doing it, it's in the, I know it off the top of my head, of course.
3 o'clock in the morning, it's gonna come to you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get it right now. Let's see, 7 is trust, that's agency fund.
Agency
It's a-
fund, okay.
That's how it had been, but I don't remember if that is just the part for like, when they have them hire an engineer for the system. If they have to have an engineer, I think maybe the engineering money went there, and the rest went into Department of Revenue.
Okay.
Usually to me, but the only thing I could think of, and this is how it was before, it basically was, leachate
Oh,
of that, but like I said, it's been a few
okay.
years since
Well,
I've been
Could
there,
be leachate, yeah.
and, that's what I remember, but that doesn't mean too much either, so.
I just have a couple of quick observations on these revenue projections. On the second page,
Of each one,
pilot,
payment in lieu of taxes.
yep,
I think that could change,
Yeah, yes, that got changed, yeah.
that is for the fee for the, agreements for the solar.
so is that something going forward that you would expect to remain in place, cause it went up from a couple thousand to 200?
So I think they were all classified within personal property, before.
Right.
And so now we have them clearly, to better understand, what we are collecting in pilots. We have them separated out in an actual pilot account.
Okay, that's helpful, because that was another observation, personal property went down 200,000.
Right.
Okay, so that helps.
Mhm.
The other thing is lottery,
Yeah.
went up $200,000.
Right,
Mhm.
I think she's got an extra month posted here
Okay,
than last year,
Yeah.
because we didn't get that much more money in cherry sheet.
No, we didn't,
Okay.
no.
So that's a cherry sheet number, that's what that.
It just depends on, these are,
Okay.
again, these are estimates based on the timing of this. This is from
okay,
July 1 to February 28. So if that cherry sheet money didn't get posted until February 29th, you wouldn't see that here.
Okay.
Yeah, depends on when the posting is, but that's the,
Okay.
that number is whatever that said we were getting last year in the tax rate recap, so.
Okay. All right, that was helpful, thank you.
Mhm. So it's important, it's tough to, guesstimate revenue, right? Because you never know how much, it's all a guesstimation, you never know how much you're actually gonna collect. So we try to look at trends, what are the past collection rates, collection percentages, and we try to see if there's any, indicators that, there could be a problem. And we look at those. So I wanted to share with this information with you folks, so that you kind of can see last year's picture versus this year's picture. And then next week, we'll look at projections for 26.
26, okay. All right. Anything else on revenue?
Are all of these projections going to be listed on a paper before the meeting commences? Like, would I have a chance to look at?
Yeah, so I'll see if I can get, so if you guys are meeting, next Tuesday?
Yeah, you're talking about this, our meeting or
Town
Town
meeting.
town meeting, unless he provides something for it, no.
No.
The projections go on the tax rate recap, that's not done till November.
Oh, okay, all right.
I mean, I can have something ready if somebody asked a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, by then, they would have a better idea, but, especially with real estate and personal property, it's due May 1st.
Right.
And if people are slow in paying, technically, the books are open till July 15th, so town meeting is June 12th. So, they have up to July to
To pay.
collect, to collect anything, that, or even tax title, if somebody, pays their tax title off, that's all revenue that's gonna come after town meeting. But, for some of the accounts, you probably could have a better idea of where everything stands.
Yeah, because I was just about to say, I graduated in applied mathematics, the statistics concentration, so I just thought that might be useful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just need to have like the numbers and
Yeah,
everything in
but
front of me.
that's what I'm saying, he can give you, what, for town meeting for June 12th, but, he can get through May collection, or maybe even, unless Carrie, maybe the first week of June, but other than that, it's, cause you never know what's,
Yeah.
on some of them, especially the liens. Sewer fees would be the same thing, but like I said, they're their own separate account. Perk test, those numbers aren't gonna be really big, but the big ones is your personal property and real estate. And then, cause if the numbers got the pilot already, that's not gonna change, cause it's only once a year, so that should be the number there, that's not going to, should change. They don't pay us more than once a year.
Yeah. I don't know if they, well, there's a payment that we were waiting on that hasn't come in yet. On the pilot.
Okay, well, whatever, that's what I'm saying, but by then, unless you know the number, I don't know, I'm just saying what I know, and if there's something you're waiting on, I don't
Yeah.
know that. What I'm saying is that I thought everything would be there.
If we want to make projections for things whose factors are not really known yet, there's a thing called stochastic processes that we can apply that could give us a better understanding of what exactly the number would be. And stochastic processes rely on random variations and things that are just not known. So things that are just not concrete.
Mhm.
And we can make a predictive analysis, based on that kind of modeling.
Sure,
So I just wanted to throw that out there, as a math grad, so.
I appreciate that, thank you, I may take you up on that offer.
Just one last quick comment, one more comment, maybe it's not last, is, based on what we had here, excluding sewer, and I know it's not complete 100% apples to apples, it doesn't sound like it at least, it's not 100% apples to apples. The numbers are up 3.82%. So,
Which is good.
if anyone's interested in that.
3.82?
3.82. It looked like sewer was up somewhere approaching 5%, but I didn't do the numbers. I just the estimate. All right, any new business? And if not, next week, we will meet on Tuesday, April 2nd? Is that correct, or is it
April first.
April 1st?
And it's not we're not playing fool.
And we're not fooling.
This is not for fooling.
Is 3 o'clock okay, or do you want 3:15 again?
I'm good with, 3 o'clock.
Do 3 o'clock next Tuesday?
Sounds good.
All right,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey, Peter.
We are adjourned.
KRAWCZYK, right?